Hello, beautiful viewers. Welcome to my channel. I hope your day is going well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you appreciate the video. Drew Scott and Linda Phan's cute new videos of Parker and Piper give fans a close look at their sweet family time. Drew Scott and Linda Phan value spending time with their families. They just told us about some of their favorite summer moments with their kids Parker, 3, and Piper, 1, and we're writing them down. On Instagram, the co-host of the Property Brothers posted a lot of pictures and videos of his family's cute summer escapades. He wrote, "Our quality time with the kids is all about doing things together. We only let our kids use screens a few times a week in our family. And even when youngsters see Bluey or Ms. Rachel, they always tell them to sing, dance, play, and just enjoy life." He told them about some of their favorite things to do lately, like going to museums and aquariums because Parker is obsessed with sharks. In one picture, Scott pulls Parker up to see some fascinating interactive displays at a museum, and in another, Parker watches a shark swim at an aquarium. There is also a collage of pictures of Parker and Piper viewing magic and puppet acts. The HGTV star added, "I love seeing their little faces light up when they do their thing. So nice." Other photographs showed swimming, watching table tennis games, and going for hikes in nature. But one of the coolest? Jam sessions with the family. There are a lot of photographs of Parker and Piper playing with both actual and toy instruments, such a giant harp. A video of Parker playing the piano and a clip of Piper dancing to someone playing the guitar and the accordion indicate that they are getting better at what they do. Scott wrote, "My dad plays guitar and so do I." Reese Mass and Piper love their little accordion, so we're well on our way to having one big Scott family band. "Creating memories," one user said. "This family is so cute and it appears like these two are enjoying the best summer ever." Scott told his followers on Instagram last month that his son Parker had a crazy phase where he would kiss the mirror. He also said that Piper was now doing the same thing. "That's definitely crazy." He asked his followers to share what their toddlers were doing, and the comments were great. One person said, "As soon as my husband's hairy legs are exposed, my daughter calls them kitties and tries to pet and kiss them." Another person said, "Washing his face with toilet water. Kids really do make life more fun." Drew Scott talks about his son Parker's craziest behavior, and now baby Piper is doing it too. Drew Scott was bored yesterday, and when Drew Scott is bored, funny things happen. The star of HGTV posted a video on Instagram saying that he wanted to hear about the strangest things his followers' kids have done to pass the time. "I'm talking fully hinged behavior," he said over the video, noting that imaginary buddies wouldn't cut it. Scott, who has a 2-year-old son named Parker and a daughter named Piper who is about 1 year old, said he would go first. "Parker went through a phase where he was making out with the mirror," he wrote. "And we were not prepared for that level of hilariously unhinged behavior. It's one thing for kids to be obsessed with their reflection, but to make out with the mirror. Now Piper's started the same," he continued. To which one follower joked, "They really took loving themselves first seriously." Fans quickly shared the craziest things their own kids did in the comments, and many of them got the point. One reader said, "As soon as my husband's hairy legs are out in the open, my daughter calls them kitties and tries to pet and kiss them. I urged him to go ahead and go if he needed to go outdoors." And another lady stated, "My daughter came in to say he was pooping in the gutter. My son taped a plastic cup to his belly button, cup down, and walked around saying he was a mommy tiger," one parent remarked. "He wanted everyone to drink milk from his cup." And it kept going. "My daughter wanted us to kiss teeth, which means to touch our teeth together. Washing his face with toilet water. Ours protected a statue of a kid at a splash area. She was upset that kids were throwing water at it and wouldn't stop cuddling it." Someone said, "Ours wanted burritos in the bathtub for a whole year. That youngster might be onto something, though. Why would you want to drink wine in the tub when you could eat a burrito?" The parent went on, "I don't know why we gave in, but we did. And don't forget all the filthy things kids lick, like garbage cans at amusement parks, toilets, handrails, and so on. And the strange things they say. When my daughter was about 1, her favorite phrase was tickle tickle. When I would close the bathroom door, she would scratch the other side and say, tickle tickle. Her playroom is down a long hallway, and she would run down the hallway in the dark whispering, tickle tickle. It was the creepiest thing I've ever heard. Many parents also have anecdotes about peeing. One youngster peed on their parents' work shoes, and another parent got pee souvenirs, home items filled with pee. The follower said, I thought I couldn't leave. One of my daughters stuck hamburger meat up her nose, another said. Another person commented, speaking of beef, my son always talks about how much he hates gravity when he's mad. I don't know why. Doesn't make sense. But he has a problem with gravity. We love these funny answers, but we also agree with the follower who commented, You're crazy, enjoy the boredom. Yes, Scott, it's true. Put down your phone and enjoy being bored. Don't let yourself get caught up in this crazy behavior. Just wait, Parker and Piper will definitely come up with a new strange habit for you to attempt and balance before you know it. Boredom is over. Drew Scott and Linda Phan celebrate their first Christmas as a family of 4 with their 7-month-old daughter Piper. They are happy tears. Scott's parents, Jim and Joanne Scott, seem to be celebrating with the family of 4. Drew Scott is happy to have a new family holiday memory. The Property Brothers star, who is 46 years old, gave a sweet look at his and wife Linda Phan's first Christmas with their son Parker James, who is 2 years old, and their daughter Piper, who they welcomed in May. He posted a bunch of pictures on Instagram that showed some cute moments from the event, such the couple carrying their kids who were wearing identical multicolored checkered pajamas up to their fully decked Christmas tree. He also posted a picture of himself and Phan kissing under the tree while being draped in colorful streamers. They spent Christmas with his parents, Jim and Joanne Scott, who also stood next to the tree. Joanne donned a scarlet dress, and Jim wore a blue button-up shirt and a blue sweater that went with it. The father and son danced in a playful way, with one arm above their heads and the other on their waists, while they smiled for the camera. Drew Scott said that his daughter Piper can tell him and his twin brother Jonathan apart. She's a little sweetheart. He wrote, Our first Christmas as a family of 4. Tears of joy. The celebrations looked terrific, but they didn't start out well earlier this week. In a video tour of his LA, Drew told the story of how he almost was hit by his own tree at home. In the video, you can see him with his feet poking out from under the tree as it began to tip over. Linda could then see Linda springing into action and hugging the tree with all of her body to keep it from falling on him. Sign up for People's free daily newsletter to get the best of what People has to offer, from juicy celebrity news to interesting stories about People. You'll never miss a story. I stood up and turned the tree and it just fell over, he said. Thank God Linda saved my life. The HGTV star, who has a few hit shows with his brother Jonathan Scott, also talked about the holiday decor, which included pink and green pastel ribbon bows. Drew says, Every year we add a little something or try to change a little something. This year we wanted to make things a little easier, so instead of the thick green garland with pine cones and everything else coming up the railing, we went with these ribbons. They look a little nicer. He also said that their Christmas tree is safe for youngsters because it has non-breakable decorations and snowflakes on it. Just so you know, Jonathan has a lot of decorations and ornaments that can break around his house. Drew added, With little ones, I like to make sure I have more wood products. Even a ball on the tree is something that, if it falls, it bounces. Read the original article on People. Drew Scott's rare picture of his kids Parker and Piper shows how much they already look alike. In this rare picture, Drew Scott and Linda Phan's kids look so much alike that it's the epitome of cute. Scott posted a really sweet picture of his and Phan's 2 kids, Parker and Piper, on November 8th. The caption said, Coming home to these cuties makes every day better. In this very uncommon picture, Parker and Piper seem as cute as can be when they look out the window together. Parker is wearing blue pajamas and Piper is wearing gray footsie pajamas. Piper looks so small, and Parker and Piper have one big thing in common. Their dark hair. It's like it was copied and pasted. It's very beautiful to see how much the 2 young siblings are identical. Scott and Linda Phan met at a Toronto Fashion Week event in 2010 and hit it off right away. They got married in 2018. They had been together for 12 years when their son Parker James was born in May 2022, on their 4th wedding anniversary. In early 2024, they revealed they were having another baby, and on June 5, 2024, they welcomed their daughter Piper Ray. Scott said in a rare interview with Entertainment Tonight that being a father unlocks a side you didn't know you had. He said, "I have this deep love for Linda, but then all of a sudden that's the shallow pool. I'm not saying shallow with Linda, I love Linda, but there's a whole other depth to Linda and my love together with Parker. It's amazing just seeing his face when he looks at you, like once he started focusing in and he locks eyes with you. Oh, your heart melts. It's amazing." Drew Scott tells us about his mom's crazy plan to win over her granddaughter Piper. Grandmas are used to being loved by their grandkids, so when they don't love them back, it's even harder. Drew Scott just said that his newborn daughter Piper, who he shares with wife Linda Phan, doesn't really like his mom Joanne Scott. And she has the most extreme and funny plan to change that. Drew and his twin brother Jonathan Scott were on the Jennifer Hudson show this morning, where they talked about Drew's 5-month-old daughter. Drew, who has a 2-year-old son named Parker, said, "Piper, she's a little sweetheart." He also said, "We have Parker and Piper, P&P Music Factory I call them." The co-star of the Property Brothers said, "She's so different from Parker. Parker was only 2 years older, but I forgot everything I learned with him, so it's like starting over. Piper is starting to realize that Jonathan, Drew's twin brother, is not her dad." Jonathan said, "I'm going to spoil that girl. Parker gets so thrilled when I show up that he wants to dance with me and read. Now Piper knows who I am because she was confused at first about why Daddy shaved." Drew remarked, "And it got older, wrinkled, and gray. But now she smiles and gets so happy," Jonathan said. "It's all fun and games until Grandma Ted there shows up. Piper, no problem the first moment we hand her over to Jonathan, smiles and everything," Drew said. "But my mom, the first moment handing her to my mom, she cries right away. My mom hates it, it kills her. Oh no, poor Grandma. But she's not going to give up without a fight. Joanne came up with a crazy strategy to get Piper to like her, and it's so funny." Drew said, "My mom said, 'Can you just print off a bunch of pictures of my face and put them around her crib?' I said, 'Do we want to scare the child or do we want her to like you?' Wow, can you believe it? She tears every time she sees her grandma, so they put pictures of Grandma all around her. They mean well, but we can see how that might scare her to death. At least Piper enjoys her big brother." At the A Sense of Home Gala on October 24th, Phan told people that seeing the siblings bond was the best part of introducing a new baby into the family. The star of Don't Hate Your House with the Property Brothers said, "Yeah, it's pretty cool to see Parker as a big brother to Piper. At first he wasn't sure, but now they seem like the best of friends. I mean, there are days when it's like, oh, I don't know, can we return her?" Phan said with a grin. That's what he thinks, but they're going to be best friends now. Drew said, "At first it was like, who is this stealing my attention? But now he appears to love it, and it looks like she's learning a lot by watching him. She's just 5 months old, but the smile on her face when she observes him is really cute. If only they could find a way to encourage Piper to look at her grandma like that." Drew Scott said his daughter Piper can tell him and his twin brother Jonathan apart. "She's a little sweetheart." The star of the Property Brothers and his wife Linda Phan had a baby girl named Piper on May 21st. Drew Scott is talking about the new woman in his life. On Thursday, November 7th, the star of the Property Brothers was on the Jennifer Hudson show with his twin brother Jonathan Scott. They talked about their 5-month-old daughter Piper, who they have with their wife Linda Phan. Drew, 46, who has a 2-year-old son named Parker James with Phan, 39, said, "Piper, she's a little sweetheart." He quipped, "We have Parker and Piper, the PMP Music Factory I call them. She's such a little sweetheart." The father of 2 said, "She's so different from Parker. Parker is only 2 years older, but I forgot everything I learned with him, so it's like starting over from scratch. How do I make changing a diaper as quick as possible? Drew said on the difficulties of having a newborn again. He also said that his son thinks Jonathan is the funniest person on the planet. He joked, Piper is starting to realize it's not me, about how much fun his daughter had with his twin. Jonathan, who is Zooey Deschanel's stepfather to her son Charlie and daughter Elsie, stated, I'm gonna spoil that girl. He was talking about how much he loves his niece. As soon as I get there, Parker is so happy that he wants to dance with me and read. Now Piper knows who I am because for the first few months she didn't understand why her dad shaved and looked older with more wrinkles and gray hair, Drew then joked. Jonathan went on, but now she smiles and I can tell she's so excited. We have a boy and a daughter who are 7 and 9 years old. They like me to be silly. He said, I'm a complete immature clown, but I'm going to bring all that energy to that house. Drew remarked, Piper, no problem. The first time we handed her over to Jonathan, she smiled and everything. This is how his newborn girl reacted when she first met her twin. But his mom, Joanne Scott, wasn't as lucky. Drew said, the first moment handing her to my mom, she cries right away. My mom hates it, it kills her. My mom said, can you print off a bunch of pictures of my face and put them around her crib? I said, do we want to scar the child? Or do we want her to like you? The show also showed a video of Drew dancing in front of his daughter's crib. The pleased dad then joked, this was me trying to get her to sleep, and then I'm like, I guess I'm trying to get her too XI.